Процесът на сътворението и унищожението, описан тук накратко, е закон, който действа по времето на деня на Брама. На същия закон се подчинява и творението Махат, което се разсейва материалната енергия. Коментар от човек Прабхупада. Има три вида сътворения – Махакалпа, Викалпа и Калпа. В Махакалпа Бога приема формата на първата първична инкарнация, народа на Радха и Вишну, в която е съсредоточена цялата енергия на Махат Татва, а също и 16-те принципи на създателната материя и инструментите. Създателните инструменти са 11, а съставните елементи на материята са 5. И всички заедно произлизат от Махат, материалното его. Процесът на сътворението му от Бога в неговия спектър на Радха и Вишну се нарича Махакалпа. Сътворяването на Брама и разсейването на материалните елементи се нарича Викалпа, а създателната дейност, която Брама извършва всеки ден от живота си, се нарича Калпа. Затова всеки ден на Брама се нарича Калпа. Общо има 30 вида калпи, с брой на дни в един месец на Брама. Това се потвърждава и в Бхагавад-гита, 8 глава 17 текст. Сатра, Юга, Вариан Там, Ахари, Брахмана, Ратин, Югаса, Хасан Там, Тейхора, Чайдър, Чайдър. Продължителността на едно денонощие във висшите планетарни системи се равнява на една цяла земна година. Това признава дори съвременните учени, ако слунаците го потвърждават. В областта на още по-висшите планетарни системи, продължителността на денонощите е още по-голяма, отколкото на райските планети. Цикълът от 4 юги се измерва по календара на райските планети и продължава 12 000 години според тяхното броене. Този цикъл се нарича Дивия юга. А 1000 дивия юги съставят един ден на Брама. Процесът на творението, който се извършва в течение на един ден от живота на Брама, се нарича Калпа, а сътворяването на самия Брама се нарича Викалпа. Процесът на появяване на Викалпата в съзнанието на Махавишну се нарича Махакалпа. Махакалпите, Викалпите и Калпите се повтарят в точно определена периодичност. В отговор на този въпрос на Махараджа Дикшит, Шукадева Госвами казва в Праваса Канда, от Канда Пурана следва.
You don't have to read all this. I can read the names of these 30 kalpas. Svetakalpa, Nila Lohita, Vamadeva, Katantara, Raurava, Prana, Brihatkalpa, Kandarpa, Sadyota, Ishana, Dhyana, Sarasvata, Udana, Garuda, Korma, Narasingha, Samadhi, Agneya, Vishnuja, Saura, Somakalpa, Bhavana, Supuma, Vaikunta, Ashija, Valikalpa, Vadaja, Gaurikalpa, Maheshwara, Paitrikalpa.
Това са само дните на Брама в един месец. Той живее 100 години, съставени от такива месеци, така че може да се представим колко много пъти Вселената отново се създава, дори само в отделните калпи. А освен това съществуват две калпите, създадени от дишането на Махавишну, за които се говори в Брама Самхита. Сесеника, Вишвасита, Калма, Акалма, Омби, Чиканци, Дома, Сираджа, Веданда и Насаха. Всички брахма живеят само като това едно издишване на Махавишну. Следователно издишването и вдишването на Вишну са Махакалпи, а изначалната причина на всичко това е върховната божествена личност, защото тя е единствена и господар на всички творения.
Ayam tu brahmana kalpa, sabikalpa udaritaha, vidi sa dharano yatra, sarga prakita vaikita. Was it that verse? Yeah. Translation again. This process of creation and annihilation described in summary herein is the regulative principle during the duration of Brahma's one day. It is also the regulative principle in the creation of Mahat, in which the material nature is dispersed.
Процесът на сътворението и унищожението, описан тук накратко, е закон, който действа по време на деня на Брама. На същия закон се подчинява и творението на Хас, който е
So this verse and especially Srila Prabhupada's purport gives us an idea of the relativity of time.
И този текст, най-вече в коментара на Шрила Прабхупад, ни дава възможност да разберем колко относително е понятието време.
It is said that each living entity somehow perceives his lifespan relatively the same.
Казва се, че относително казано, живота на всяко живо същество е еднакъв.
The ant is living for, I don't know how long, some days. The ant, the small. And Lord Brahma, he is living for many, many kalpas. But still, Brahma, he perceives his life as long as 100 years, according to his time calculation. And the ant also perceives his life as 100 years, according to his calculation. And so also the human being. So all the way from Lord Brahma down to the insignificant ant, all the living entities think that somehow I'm existing for some time, therefore let me make my plans in order to enjoy in this world. This way, as Brahma Samhita confirms, all the way again from Brahma down to the insignificant ant, all living entities in this material existence are bound by the fruit of activities. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's one verse we find the terms Kaudrayu Sham Nrinam, which means very, very small. Ayusham means lifespan, duration of life, very small duration of life. And then still if we compare to the life of, let's say, germs, even that, the life of an ant seems to be very, very long. In India, there are these Diwali germs. They're kind of insects. So in the evening when you turn on the light, then they gather around the light, millions of them. Next morning when you wake up, there's a huge heap on the floor of these dead Diwali germs, insects. So they only live for one night. And still there are other entities, they only live for some hours. Some only exist for some seconds. So that's material existence, Matya Loka. It is the place of death. Doesn't matter how long some living being exists, at one point he has to die. But the great illusion is that everybody thinks somehow I'm existing, I continue to exist. This is the most amazing thing in this world. This question was being asked, what is the most amazing, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? Wasn't it Yudhishthira Maharaj answered? He answered. What is that verse? You remember Sanskrit? Ahanya hani bhutani kachandiya yamalayam Is that the verse? Ahanya hani bhutani gachantiya yamalyam kim achaya taparam. I think so. That means that although we see around us constantly so many living entities are dying. My grandfather's dead. My grandmother's dead. Oh, somebody just had an accident, he died. Another one, he jumped down from the roof of a house, he died. Oh, here's one mosquito just dying. One fly is dying. All the time. Thousands upon thousands of living entities are dying around me. But somehow I think I continue to live. It will not happen to me. It will happen to anybody else. Hare Krishna. It will happen to anybody else, but not to me. This is the most amazing thing in this world. This is Maya. Although I know everybody, but still I think I do not have to die. Somehow I continue to exist. Srila Prabhupada, he used to give the example of one wealthy merchant in India. When he died, he requested the doctor, please give me 4 more years, I have so many plans. The doctor said, I cannot help. Just 4 more years, it is nothing. 4 more years, then I can finish all my plans. See, this is Maya. We are so attached to our plans, fruitive activities, to enjoy this world. But we are not, everything in this world is temporary. But we do not realize it. That's the nature of attachment. Attachment makes you blind. You cannot see the truth. Just like Bankim Chandra, he's one poet. He says, in the eyes of the beloved, in the eyes of the lover, the beloved always looks beautiful. Doesn't matter how ugly the beloved might look like. But the lover, he thinks, oh, she looks beautiful. Therefore, even a cockroach is attracted to another cockroach. They're thinking, oh, what a nice body. See these 2 long antennae. So beautiful. See, that's the nature of attachment. And one rain worm, he feels attached to another rain worm. That's the nature of attachment. That we forget how ugly actually this material existence is. How disgusting. That we feel attracted to a body which is filled with the most obnoxious substances. Just like I gave so many times description of Sankhya philosophy. So to make it short, if you would put the same ingredients of our physical body into some plastic bag,
накратко отново да обясня, ако същите съставки, от които е съставено тялото, ги сложите в един найлонов плик.
You fill the plastic bag with the exact same ingredients of this body.
Напълвате този плик с същите съставки, от които е съставено тялото ни.
Which will come to the same weight.
И те трябва да тежат също толкова, колкото тежи тялото.
Same amount of skin you throw into the plastic bag.
Същото количество кожа слагате в този плик.
Clutch. And the same amount of meat.
Същото количество месо.
Blood.
Кръв.
Pus. Mucus.
Жлъчка.
And all the other nice substances of this body.
И всички други прекрасни съставки на тялото.
And at the end you throw some hair on top. A bunch of hair. Then you close the plastic bag and you give it to somebody, enjoy it. When he opens the bag, he has to vomit. But Maya is so powerful. Now the same bag is in front of me. But somehow it's not a plastic cover, it's a skin cover.
Но всички тези съставни части не са побрани в един плик, а те са обвити с кожа.
And it's tied together, that's the navel, that's the end. When you tie a plastic bag, that's the navel.
И те са, накрая тази турба е завързана, всъщност това е пъпа.
When the child takes birth, then you have to cut off, the string of the plastic bag.
И когато детето се ражда, трябва да се отрежи пъпната връх и да се завърши турбата.
But somehow it's too small, nobody is attracted to such a small body. Then nature blows it up. Then it's a big blown up body, bag. And all of a sudden we feel so attracted. Oh. Now you have to admit that this is really Maya. Does somebody not admit? Somebody disagrees? No? Are you sure? Are you sure? So that's Maya. So all these descriptions of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it should result in renunciation, detachment. That's why Shukadeva Goswami so elaborately describes the process of creation and the actual nature of this material existence. So painstakingly he analyzes material nature throughout so many cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam, so that Maharaj Parikshit could very, very easily detach himself. He was already detached. But it is for those who are studying Srimad Bhagavatam in the future. So we are in a similar position as Maharaj Parikshit. You might think, he only had 7 days to live. Again, ahanya hani bhutani, but I'm living so much longer. So for him it was not so difficult to renounce everything. But what's the guarantee that I'm living longer than Maharaj Parikshit? Longer than 7 days? Is there any guarantee? Can anybody give guarantee that you are even living still tomorrow? What is the guarantee? We are just hoping. And of course based on our experience.
Разбира се, като се уповаваме на опита си.
No, I was living yesterday, therefore I surely will live tomorrow.
Вчера бях жив, затова със сигурност утре ще съм жив.
But this is not very logical.
Това не е много логично.
Because everybody thinks like this.
Всички разсъждават по същия начин.
The person who's dying today, he also will think, well, but I was existing yesterday, so I will also exist tomorrow.
Дори този, който днес умира, той си казва, аз вчера съществувах, значи трябва да продължа да съществувам и утре.
Just see the influence of Maya.
Вижте само какво е влиянието на Майя.
Our hope to exist in the future is just based on false assumptions.
И надеждата е, че ще продължим да съществуваме и утре, всичко това е базирано на едно погрешно схващане, погрешно разсъждение.
It is simply based on false hopes.
Всичко това, в основата на всичко това са лъжливи надежди.
That I existed yesterday, therefore I shall exist tomorrow.
Вчера съществувах, затова трябва да продължа да съществувам и утре.
That's the same old illusion.
Това е същата илюзия.
The fact is, we might be kicked out of this body any second.
Истината е, че ние може да бъдем изритани от това тяло всяка една секунда.
Any second.
Всяка една секунда.
That's intelligence.
И точно това е интелигентност.
And that's actually to face reality of life.
Това означава човек да се изправи пред действителността на живота.
Now, my bodily existence might come to an end at any moment.
Аз мога да престана да съществувам това тяло всеки един момент.
Kamala dala jala jivana talamala. This bacha hurray mana, everything is described in that song.
В тази песен всичко е описано.
Our existence it is just like a drop of water placed on a lotus leaf.
Нашето съществуване е също като капчица вода на върха на лотосов лист.
When you imagine a lotus leaf and then there's a drop of water.
Представете си един лист от лотос и само една капчица вода.
At any second that drop of water might glide down. Finished.
Всеки един момент тази капчица вода може да се плъзне и да се отдели от лотосовия лист.
So that's our position. That's our situation in this world.
Това е позицията, това е положението ни в този свят.
Everything, our big body, our big house, our huge car, everything is hanging on a silk thread.
И нашето голямо тяло, огромната ни къща, хубавата ни кола, всичко това се крепи просто на една купринена нишка.
Just on a silk thread.
Само на една купринена нишка.
Little shaking, poof, immediately.
Само на малко разклащане и всичко това веднага ще падне.
And the problem is, as bigger the weight becomes, as faster the silk thread might break.
Трудността идва от това, че колкото по-голяма става тежестта, толкова по-голяма е вероятността тази нишка да се скъса.
So everybody's life is hanging on an extremely thin silk thread.
И живота на всеки един се крепи на една изключително тънка купринена нишка.
So therefore those who are intelligent, they immediately prepare for death.
Тези, които са интелигентни, те веднага започват да се подготвят за смъртта.
Intelligent man, he prematurely accepts death.
Този, който е интелигентен, той приема, той знае, че ще умре.
That's the significance of the sannyas ashram.
И точно това е значението на саньяси ашрам.
You accept already death now.
Че човек приема сега в момента смъртта.
And therefore you prepare.
И затова се подготвя.
You always cultivate your Krishna consciousness, any moment.
И постоянно развива съзнанието си за Кришна, всеки един момент.
Because you know that day will come soon.
Защото знае, че този ден скоро ще дойде.
And any elderly person, he will admit, oh, life passed too fast.
Всеки по-възрастен човек ще каже, живота минава толкова бързо.
They never think, I was living really long.
Не си казва, вече живях доста време.
I was almost living too long.
Вече живях твърде дълго.
So now I really want to die.
И затова наистина ми се иска да умра.
No, they all think, oh, life was passing too fast.
Всички си мислят, живота мина толкова бързо.
And many people, they still feel like 19, 20 years old in their heart.
И някои хора в сърцето си се чувстват като на 19-20 години.
And then sometimes they want to join some young people playing football.
И понякога искат да се присъединят към млади хора, които играят футбол.
You know, they stare at the football field. And then all of a sudden they're running and trying to join the youngsters to play football. And after a few meters of running, his heart, oh my heart. So he thinks, why was life passing so fast? So it's not a fact that, oh, our life's so long. Soon, very, very soon, we will all sit with white hairs. Now some of us might be very proud, you know, we have so much hair still. But soon your seeker will be down here. Small white seeker down at the neck. Because it doesn't grow anymore up there. No teeth. It's difficult to chant Hare Krishna. This day will come fast. And then we all bend over with a cane. That day will come fast. So better we prepare now. Because that time will come. Nothing is surer, save and except death. As sure as death. As sure as death. Because nothing is more sure. I might become rich, I might not become rich. I might look a little more beautiful in the future or not. I might so many things. But one thing is sure. I'm going to die. So what is more realistic? Save and accept death. But somehow Maya is so strong that people think those who talk about death, they are not facing reality. Now they're talking about something unreal. Some philosophy or whatever. But the fact is that death is the most real thing in this world. See, death is absolute. Because everybody has to die. It's absolute. It's absolute reality. Some people, they argue. Sometimes when you preach, they argue. No, everything is relative in this world. But we disagree. No, there's one absolute thing in this world. That's death. Everybody has to die. This is proven. Show me one entity which does not have to die in this world. Does not exist, therefore death is absolute. An absolute fact. And still nobody cares for death. Yeah, let us not talk about death. This makes me feel, sick. Death. That's Maya, that's the problem. So therefore everything is so nicely described in these chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. Just to bring us back to our senses. And another point was, it also demonstrates the greatness of Krishna, the opulence of Krishna. How unlimitedly powerful Krishna is. Just imagine this Mahavishnu, he's just the portion of Krishna.
Махавишну е само част от на Кришна.
So just imagine how powerful Krishna is.
Така че представете си колко могъщ е самия Кришна.
And so, Srila Prabhupada, he quotes this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. You can just quote it again, that line, Yasyaika Nishvashita Kalamatavalamyo. Yasyaika Nishvashita Kalamatavalamyo. The first quotation sounds good.
Шрила Прабхупада цитира този стих от този текст от Шримад Бхагаватам.
No. Are you at the right verse? 46? No. There's in the purport the first quotation. That's the first quotation? No, that's the previous verse. 46. Mikey, 46. Yeah, first quotation. Yes, Yaika? Is it? No. Then I'm spaced out. Oh, yes, I see. So where's the quotation then? At the end of the purport. Well, why don't you tell me? At the end of the purport. Yasyaika nishvashita kalamatavalam ya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanata. That's a description of Mahavishnu. Jagadandanata. The innumerable universes are coming out of his pores. Which means innumerable Brahmas are coming out of his pores. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he explains in the purport. This demonstrates the majesty of the subjective Mahavishnu. And this Mahavishnu is just a portion of Krishna. So this majestic aspect of the Supreme Lord we find in Mahavishnu. And this majesty of the Lord we also find on the Vaikuntha Lokas. But it is said that Vrindavan, although it does not look like it, but Vrindavan is even by far more opulent than Vaikuntha. All the opulences of Vaikuntha are manifested in Vrindavan. Therefore, we find in some songs description that underneath the Kalpa Vriksha trees in Vrindavan, you find so many jewels. Also the Mohana Leela, when Krishna expanded into the cowherd boys and calves, that's also such a opulence Lord Krishna displayed. And also it is said Dhamma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, these four principles of human advancement, they also have their origin in Goloka. It's like in the activities of Nanda Maharaj, you find so much Dharma, Artha, wealth, religious activities, piety, everything. And of course also moksha. Everybody is liberated anyway. But everything is meant in order to please, to satisfy Krishna. Just like in Nanda Maharaj's pastimes, Krishna's pastimes, the gopis are selling so much milk products every day.
Например, при забавлението на Кришна, йогите продават много мляко всеки ден.
There's so much economic advancement.
Така че има голям икономически напредък.
Every day they're selling so much yogurt.
Всеки ден те продават много мляко.
And Srimati Radharani, she was thinking that how can I meet Krishna?
И Шримати Радharani постоянно мислила, как мога да се срещна с Кришна?
And then she thought there are some brahmanas, they wanted to perform sacrifices. And she addressed her mother and father, Srimati Radharani. Chetida Vishavanu. That I want to donate some yogurt, butter, ghee to the brahmanas for sacrifice.
Искам да даря на един браман да направи жертвоприношение мляко, ghee.
And because her parents are very charitably disposed, so they immediately agreed. But actually in her mind she thought, maybe I will meet Krishna on my way. And then she came to one very, very narrow pathway. Because Vrishabhanu's palace is situated on a hill. And there was only one pathway leading down from the hill. And at one point this pathway became very narrow. So Krishna, he could see Srimati Radharani, the gopis, coming slowly down the hill, and he immediately went with some cowherd boys to that narrow spot. And then he stopped all the gopis. He said, now I'm the messenger of the king. And they thought, oh, really? Yes, the whole country here, everything belongs, the land belongs to the king. And you are selling every day so much butter, so much yogurt. So now he requested me to collect some tax from you. So please pay. But of course they thought, who's this? He's not the messenger of the king. Then they said, actually the land here belongs to the queen, which is Srimati Radharani. So then there was a whole argumentation. They were arguing back and forth. And then Krishna, even by force, he stopped the gopis to proceed. Then one gopi, she ran away. She said, I will get your parents now. Yashoda and Nanda, I will bring them here, and they should settle the whole matter. And then Krishna, he answered, oh, we can talk about anything. Just come back, we can discuss things. He became very afraid. Then he said, so you can all go, but one gopi, she has to return tomorrow. And then she has to deliver the tax. So then what happened? So next day again, Srimati Radharani, now she took advantage. She came with thousands of gopis. But Krishna didn't know, he just came with his 20 cowherd boys. So he was already there waiting for the gopi to return with the tax, some payment.
таксата, която трябва да бъде.
Actually, Krishna demanded many jewels and jewelries from the gopi.
И Кришна бил поискал от гопите много скъпоценности, много украшения.
So Krishna was waiting already.
И Кришна вече чакал.
Why they're not coming?
Защо не идват?
And then they came.
И те дошли.
Thousands of gopis.
Хиляди гопи.
And he thought, what is happening now? What is happening?
И те си казаха, какво става сега?
So then they came,
И те дошли.
and immediately they captured Krishna and all the cowherd boys.
И веднага заловили Кришна и всички пастирчета.
And then they were tying them up with ropes.
И ги завързали с въжета.
And some of the cowherd boys they also had long seekers, but big long seekers. So they tied their seekers against branches of trees. And because they were great in number, they had to surrender. And then they took the yogurt pots, ghee pots, and they emptied all the pots over the gopas, the cowherd boys, and even Krishna. And then they forced Krishna down to his knees. He was, soaked with yogurt, ghee. He had to knee down in front of Srimati Radharani and beg for forgiveness. So that's what he did. He took her lotus feet, placed them on his head. Oh, please forgive me. I did not know that you are the queen of this country here. But Srimati Radharani completely dismissed Krishna, ignored Krishna. Krishna was kneeling down on one side. But the opposite direction, she was having a conversation with some gopis. Completely ignoring Krishna. Rupa Goswami, he prays, let us meditate on this particular situation. How Krishna completely ignores Krishna. How Srimati Radharani completely ignores Krishna. That is what pleases Krishna. So this is one pastime. It's showing the opulence of Vrindavan. There are so many other all these pastimes are meant to please Krishna. All the other rasas are meant in order to increase Madhurya rasa. Mother Yashoda's relationship with Krishna, it also serves the Madhurya rasa, so that Krishna can somehow meet with Radharani. All the cowherd boys, gopis, all these rasas are meant in order to increase the loving relationship between Radha and Krishna. One example is given. Actually, it is said that the Mother Yashoda, she loved Srimati Radharani almost just like Krishna. And so she invited Srimati Radharani every day to come and cook for Krishna. So then one day she thought, oh, let me give some nice present to Srimati Radharani. Then she, let's see, how was it? Yes, she invited Abhimanyu, the so-called husband of Srimati Radharani. So, she told him, I have some nice present for Srimati Radharani. So you please bring it. You deliver it to her.
Тя му казва, имам един хубав подарък за Шримати Радharani и ще ви помоля да я го предадеш.
And she prepared a huge box.
И тя подготвя една много голяма кутия.
And then as a surprise in this big box, there was a very small box.
И за изненада на всички в тази голяма кутия имало една мъничка кутия.
With very costly jewelry inside.
И която изглежда много практически пълна с някакви скъпоценности.
But it should be a surprise, so when you open this big box you expect something, but then there's a very small box in the middle.
И това е било наистина изненадващо, защото когато отворите тази огромна кутия, вътре просто намерите една пълна.
So as Srimati Radharani explained everything to Abhimanyu in one room, the box was sitting in another room. She was explaining to Abhimanyu about everything, what to do, how to bring it. And in one room, they were talking. And in Mother Yashoda and Abhimanyu. And in the next room, there was the box.
И докато майка Йашода обяснява какво точно трябва да направи Абхиманю в едната стая, в другата стая била кутия.
So Krishna, he heard about the whole thing.
Кришна чул за всичко това.
And he wanted to take advantage.
И искал да се възползва.
He was climbing through the window.
Минал през прозореца.
His boyfriends helped him.
Неговите приятели му помогнали.
And they quickly opened the big box.
Bързо отворили голямата кутия.
And Krishna, he climbed in.
Кришна скочил вътре.
And then they closed the box.
И затворили кутията.
So then Mother Yashoda, she requested Abhimanyu, so now you take the box and deliver to Srimati Radharani. So he was lifting the box. Oh, so heavy. Placed it on his head. But Mother Yashoda, she thought he's just joking. You know, sometimes when something is very light, you just make a joke. Oh, so heavy. So Mother Yashoda was covering her mouth, thinking he's just joking. And then, tumbling, Abhimanyu left the palace of Nanda Maharaj. And with his last strength, he arrived finally. And then he said, "Oh, Srimati Radharani, I brought some present for you from Mother Yashoda." So she opened the door. Oh, to bring it inside. And then go out again. That's Vedic system. No, in Vedic civilization, husband, wife, they are not all the time together. They are not even sleeping together in different sleeping rooms, quarters. So bring in the box and then go out. So he brought in the box and he had to go out. And full of expectation, she opened the box. And all of a sudden Krishna popped out. Right into her arms. So that's another pastime. Demonstrating that even Mother Yashoda's activities are meant in order to increase the relationship between Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So there are so many pastimes like this, but we have to stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.